where the sun shines bright each day, far across the sea. Lahaina, I remember youthful days, fragrant blossoms everywhere. For you and for me.
Oh, man. That is a smooth song. Yeah, I remember going to my dad's practices, and I think they were playing at Opus 1 at the Ely Kai at the time, or somewhere around there, in Waikiki. They created this beautiful song called Lahaina. Oh my God, it's an all-time favorite back in the late 70s, early 80s, and just epic harmony. My father, Lahaina, I remember youthful days. Just beautiful. I can't do it. My father did. He's just an amazing singer. But, it's good to hear those songs. It's good to know that type of music is still out there for people. But I'm going to jump right into this because this is very important for people to know. So hopefully we're live. Yeah, I think we're still going, and you guys can hear me okay over. I'm using this microphone here because I think the other one was echoing too much. So hopefully this sounds better. I hope it does. But let's go into this right here. Now, this is a fact, and this was actually happening back in the day. People were talking 2021. List of employees not requiring their employees to get the Kool-Aid, right? White House, CDC, FDA, WHA, Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson, all these guys. Interesting, right? That was true. There was no mandate, requirement, law, or anything for them to do it, but they wanted everybody else to do it. There was coercion, forced mandates. Here's one right here with this guy that I've been talking to. Where'd it go? Can I start it? Here it is. Yeah, right here. And I posed this question out a long time ago, right? I think I had this question out in late 2020 because I was concerned about how this was going to happen and what was going to go down. And then I started, to realize that the more they were talking about this, the more they were saying that it was indemnified. And I was like, why would anybody want to do anything with this thing when it's indemnified? That just seems so ludicrous, it's asinine and moronic, right? And the best analogy I've always had is really simple. Go out and buy a car from the dealership, brand new. You find out after you've been in an accident and maybe hurt yourself or others, thankfully not, hopefully not. The brakes were incorrectly installed, or they used the wrong gauge or the wrong types, or it wasn't safe and effective. And what happens is you can sue because those dealerships, the distributors, and the manufacturer, whether it be Ford, making rainbow cars, or whatever model or make it's from, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Nissan, Dodge, whatever, you can, go after them with a lawsuit. And you would probably, depending on the severity and how bad the accident was, et cetera, and the damage done, could easily prove that they were at fault if you could, but you'd be able to sue them. The point is, you'd be able to at least take them to court. You'd be able to file the paperwork, have them served with a subpoena or summons, and then they would have to send their attorneys to either litigate or possibly come to a settlement, which you wouldn't take in this situation. I wouldn't. And then go to a jury trial, and then you could, win your case, which is, if that was the case that it was. But anyway, the point is that back in the day, this was out, that you can't sue Pfizer, Moderna, if you have severe or any bad side effects at all. And the government's not going to compensate you for any damages either. And this was listed. This is an MSNBC. This is an article that was done back in December 19th, 2020. Right? So once I saw this, and I'm just like, so, I pretty much clearly say on here, it's just really simple, right? And I'm going to try to read this without hitting those algorithms to get this taken down. I think maybe it's already happened. But I'm suing these guys anyway. I'm on my 6th or 7th channel. I've already got another 8th up just in case. Because I'm just bringing up information, questioning authority and its sources at every turn, actually having some clarity and courage to do that, and fighting. That's why I'm on my 6th or 7th channel with YouTube, because I have conclusions, I have perspectives, I have theories, right? And most of mine, unfortunately, have come to fruition. They've come to pass. They've actually revealed themselves as more of spoiler alerts. Conspiracy theories equals spoiler alerts. Definitely in the past 3 or 4 years now. But I'm saying all our supposed public servants care so much about us that they are going to force us all to take and or be injected with a routine that we cannot fight back against if there are any negative repercussions. The same margin that will not provide the ingredients. They didn't provide the ingredients fully and completely. It still hasn't been determined exactly what's in there because they're being shielded. So we don't really know what's in there. Will not give us the test data, which they wanted to hide for 75 years, and then we finally got it, which, they admitted to not. Anyway, let me get this. Not give us test data. It's 2 years, and same. I think warns you that you could obtain. And then there's different side effects and stuff that happen. But this right here is probably the most alarming piece of this. Right? This is crazy. I mean, and I just can't believe that people are just like, give it to me, give it to me. They were so. The fear through mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, even Fox, BBC, especially PBS, all the publications out there, New York Times, LA Times, Associated Press. You guys do know that Obama signed in legislation that news outlets can propagate. In other words, lie to you, manipulate you, and control you. He signed that into law in 2016. Isn't that interesting? People need to know that. So they've been taking advantage of that. But this is all over, and they scared the shit out of you, and then everybody jumped on board. It is sad because what we're seeing, because we have this new rollout coming and stuff like this. So we had a lot of people that jumped aboard on this. When this thing first came out, let's just go through, the list of people here, and I'm going to jump into, let me see if I know I've got it. You got Dolly Parton telling people to get it. We had, all these sports celebrities. LeBron James. They finally got LeBron James to say it, right? You had, some didn't, right? Novak Djokovic, that's how you're supposed to say his name, said, nah, I don't think so, And then Rogers said, nah, I don't think so either, which is good. You had some people that said, nah, I don't think so. But then you had people like Tom Brady who were, jumping aboard. I'm going to tell you, I did it. I did it. Right? And then you had who else? Aaron Rodgers didn't, of course. Andy Murray, of course, supposedly did. I have to say supposedly, because I'm going to say supposedly to all these people, right? Novacek didn't do it. Serena Williams supposedly did, right? Anthony Rizzo, thank God he didn't do it, and everybody that didn't, right? Sadly, Allison Felix did. Nobody's heard from her in a long time, by the way. Kyrie Irving said, nah, fuck you. LeBron James bent. But we don't know if he really, really did. We don't know a lot of people that did. And when I go here to, let me go to my library. I created an entire list for this. My playlist is called, right here, here we go.
Keep it quilted means...
Not here. But let's just take a look and see the celebs that supposedly did. Right? And I'm going to go open this up just a little bit more so you can see it. I'm not going to play through it. But I'm just going to show you all those that were pushing this stuff, right? Of course, I already said, Dolly Parton. Who else? Elton John. Trump said it. Take the vaccine. It works. It works. Everybody knows that. And he still supports it. And he still supports his decisions to lock down, to mask mandate, to listen to Fauci, to go with the system. He still today supports it. He just had a Maria Bartilova from Fox News. She had an interview with him. And he clearly just said, I am very proud. We got this thing out. And we did this, and we did this, and we got this thing out instead of, it usually takes 10 or 15 years for these things to come out. But for some reason, they had it out in 4, right? It's crazy. Recognize importance, right? They had some other people doing it. Santé flipped on it. Aniston reveals she's removing people just for not taking it. And then they had this celebrity urge. Let's see who else. Matt Damon wanted people to take it. There's a list of entertainers, Hollywood actors. Oh, and then they started having problems. Of course, Tom Hanks, right? The notorious Tom Hanks. And Bill Gates has taken his own Kool-Aid. You know that. Fauci has too. And Michelle Wallensky with the CDC, who's no longer there anymore. That freaking... what the fuck is this? Who's this guy again? I keep forgetting his name. And then they wanted, pregnant women to take it too, of course. And then Morgan Freeman has also chimed in. Arnold Schwarzenegger chimed in. New York City mayor was chimed in. I should play a couple of these. This one's, this is really pathetic.
This is 13 News at 6. We are going straight to the big story.
We begin tonight with team coverage on incentives to get people vaccinated against COVID-19. Today, West Virginia Governor Jim Justice said it was okay to have a little levity every now and then.
He officially named his lottery today, and it has a familiar name.
Yeah, remember, the lotteries.
Reporter Mark Curtis explains.
The lottery to get people vaccinated in West Virginia officially has a name. Do It for Baby Dog. On Tuesday, the governor announced million-dollar drawings, free college scholarships, state park vacations, and even hunting and fishing gear prizes as incentives to get the shots.
Wow.
But the contest had no official name until the governor's pet, Baby Dog, trended nationally on Twitter.
Please go get your vaccination. Please go get your vaccination. Win all the prizes. Please go get your vaccination. Please go get your vaccination. Please go get your vaccination. Please go get your vaccination.
Yeah, and then this guy right here was doing the similar.
We need everyone to get vaccinated. So we know we have to make it convenient. We know we have to make it easy. We know we need the opportunities for people to speak to their trusted community voices, doctors, etc. We're doing all that. But we also know that incentives help. They really do. And so we've been announcing free tickets, gift cards, all sorts of incentives to encourage people. A lot of people are ready to get vaccinated. They just haven't gotten around to it. They need a little extra incentive. We're doing that now. And we are going to have a live correspondent this morning talk about this, and from a site that means a lot to all of us as New Yorkers, because
the Shake Shack team is here for you in New York. We'll see you soon all around New York City and here too. And we're going to get back. Get your vax, get your shack, and let's gather up as a community again. The Shake Shack team is here for you in New York. We'll see you soon all around New York City and Shack.
thank you so much, Randy. Thank you to the whole Shake Shack team. This is really going to help us out. And did you say free fries when you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Free fries when you get vaccinated? The whole Shake Shack team, this is really going to help us out. And did you say free fries when you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute.
Just fucking nuts. And then there were also
the greatest photographs capture a moment.
they're telling the
Desperate to get their child protected against COVID. Today's a great day now that the FDA and CDC have given the go-ahead for kids ages 5 to 11 to get vaccinated. Now they could just help kids get over their jitters about needles.
Millions of kids are about to get a COVID vaccination
Yeah,
shot.
she hits her kid.
To get a COVID vaccination.
Look at that.
Millions of kids are about to get a COVID
Look, she hits him.
vaccination shot. Millions of kids are about to get a COVID
pats
vaccination
him on-
shot. And it's fair to say a lot of them are not looking forward to it. 63% of children fear
Fucking
needles. It
Jesus.
even has a name, trypanophobia.
Oh my God.
These youngsters in Hartford, Connecticut were the
Wow. Do you fucking remember this insanity? And you guys want to do it again? Here's some more of that.
Thousands of kids ages 5
Oh, this
to
guy
11
supposedly
already
did
getting
it too.
that Pfizer shot across the country. President Biden calling it a time of, quote, relief and celebration for parents. Let's go to Whit
Oh,
Johnson
my
at the
God.
mass vaccination
Look at him
site
just-
at Citi Field here in New York. Good morning.
Why was it so
Already, thousands of
Oh
kids
my
are rolling up
God.
their
Just,
sleeves.
oh my God. And then we heard this.
Was the Pfizer COVID vaccine tested on stopping the transmission of the virus before it entered the market? If not, please say it clearly. If yes, are you willing to share the data with this committee? And I really want a straight answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
I'm going to get the better one. Sorry.
Was the Pfizer COVID vaccine tested on stopping the transmission of the virus before it entered the market? If not, please say it clearly. If yes, are you willing to share the data with this committee? And I really want a straight answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No. We had to really move at the speed of science before it's immunisation. We know about stopping immunisation around, did we know? Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No. Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No.
Jesus. Right? And then everybody's saying this. And then these guys.
Our fellow Americans.
Right now, the COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans.
And soon, they will be available to everyone.
The science is clear. These vaccines will protect you and those you love from this dangerous and deadly disease.
They could save your life.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
That's the first step to ending the pandemic and moving our country forward. It's up to you.
Right? And yeah, this person, this is interesting.
For life to get back to normal, Dr. Anthony Fauci and other experts say that most of the people who can be vaccinated need to be vaccinated. But half of Americans now say they wouldn't take a vaccine if it was released now.
They were smart then. Half of Americans were smart. They're just like, what?
If the Trump administration approves a vaccine before or after the election, should Americans take it, and would you take it?
If the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it. Absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Okay. Okay. Then everybody would. Then this is everybody, right? You gotta watch this one. Sorry.
Coming through. There is a clear message that is coming through. This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We are seeing outbreaks of cases in parts of the country that have low of the unvaccinated. This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We are seeing This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We are seeing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Right? And then this happened later, almost 2 years later.
Did the CDC work with private companies to influence the censorship of dissent about vaccines?
That topic is one that is under litigation in the courts, so I will not be speaking to that.
I guess not.
Recently, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said that during the COVID-19 pandemic, the establishment kind of waffled a bunch of facts and then asked for a bunch of things to be censored that, in retrospect, ended up being more debatable or true. Did the CDC work with Meta, or I like to call it Facebook still, to censor or otherwise alter any post?
Here's what I can tell you. The most important thing that has gotten us out of this pandemic, I think, is our vaccine and how well they work and how safe they are.
I understand that.
And it was really important that the American people
understand
how well they worked and how safe they are.
I understand it.
But in terms.
Yeah. Okay. How safe they are.
Robbie, what's on your radar?
Well, at long last, the U.S. federal government will end the COVID-19 vaccine mandates for international travelers, federal workers, Head Start employees, and the healthcare industry. The mandates will expire on May 11th, the date that President Joe Biden has designated as the formal end of the COVID-19 public health emergency. While the Supreme Court previously struck down Biden's mandate requiring 80 million private sector employees get vaccinated, the justices had left intact the mandate for some federal employees and healthcare workers. A vaccine mandate was also still on the books for teachers who participate in Head Start, the federal preschool program, though an earlier court ruling had technically voided that aspect of it. Now, U.S. citizens may return to the country even if they are not vaccinated, but it has been the case that the federal government has continued to prohibit unvaccinated non-citizens from entering the U.S. Most notably, this policy prevented international tennis star Novak Djokovic from participating in the Miami Open.
It's Djokovic. It's Djokovic, not Djokovic.
But now these policies, some of the last vestiges of the federal government's emergency pandemic powers, will finally come to an end. On Monday, White House COVID-19 coordinator Ashish Jha made it official, saying, quote, "While I believe that these vaccine mandates had a tremendous beneficial impact, we are now at a point where we think that it makes a lot of sense to pull these requirements down." That's a relief, though it's coming far, far, far too late. We did not suddenly arrive at a point where getting rid of vaccine requirements makes sense. In fact, we are well past that point. To the extent there was any justification for COVID-19 vaccine mandates, it rested on the assumption that the vaccines were not merely protective of severe disease and death, but actually prevented the spread of the virus. When public health officials made their case for vaccine requirements, they did so according to the theory that vaccinating a person would substantially reduce the likelihood of person B catching COVID-19. Biden wrongly declared that you're not going to get COVID-19 if you have these vaccinations. Remember that? Let's watch.
One last thing that's really important is we're not in a position where we think that any virus, including the Delta virus, which is much more transmissible and more deadly in terms of unvaccinated people, the various shots that people are getting now cover that. You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Biden later tested positive despite being vaccinated and experienced lots of.
He's been vaccinated. I think Biden's been poked 3 times and he's gotten the flu twice. So you know it's working.
People have had. Biden, by the way, was hardly the only important person to say that vaccination was going to protect you from COVID. Mandates were intended to, quote, stem the flood of infections, the New York Times reported in September of 2021. But by that time, it was already becoming clear that no societal level of vaccination would eliminate this virus. The vaccines have appreciably reduced the risk of severe infections, particularly among the elderly and other vulnerable groups. But they do not substantially prevent infection itself. The overwhelming majority of Americans have had COVID-19, at least the elderly and other vulnerable groups. But they do not substantially prevent infection itself. The overwhelming majority of Americans have had COVID-19 at least once, whether they were vaccinated or not. The vaccines may reduce the severity of symptoms, and a jab appears to offer temporary protection, much like so-called natural immunity after recovering from the disease. But COVID-19 has proven itself quite capable of evading protection, which is why many people have contracted it multiple times. I'm one of them. The federal government should have left the choice to get vaccinated to the people themselves. At the very least, an expansive vaccine mandate ought to have been debated by legislators, not forced on Americans via a presidential declaration. But Biden declined.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, right off the bat, but that's not what their goal was. Okay, if you've been paying attention to Monotalk for the past 3.5 years and going through all my channels to find me, it's very simple. This has nothing to do with protecting you. It's actually the opposite. You know, and the thing I'm talking about is the stuff. The stuff that's out there that they wanted everybody to be a part of and do and take, right? I just ponder that thought. Just ponder the thought that maybe this wasn't about helping the 99.9%. Maybe this was all about something which people still have a very hard time, they have a very hard time swallowing. Oh, hey, Cheryl. Trump just did a video last week saying we are not going for any. Yeah, I know. But he still pushes his decision, though, which he needs to walk back. Once he gets all the data, he will. He'll blame it on Fauci, which I hope he does. But it's so if this so if there's something that's out there that we find out, and I should have had this queued up, really didn't do any damage to anybody, and it was more like a common cold, or more like just the regular flu that people get, seasonally, right? Or and then they find out that it didn't do the damage because of the way that they were marking off people, which was interesting because they were marking off people I know I've got this. I have it in here. This is one. Let me move to this real quick because I think this is important for you guys to see. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. This is very common. I should put that over there. Just let this guy have the stage, right? Frederick Nietzsche. I really don't know who he is, but that's a fucking smart thing to say, right? But let me dive into this a little more because I just posted these pictures, reposted these pictures on my Facebook so I could go through them and show everybody kind of what's going on. I think I need to recycle this. All right. There we go. Yeah. So people have kind of they started seeing through the baloney, right? It was very apparent. And this is the saddest part of this, right? Is in this country, just so you know, there are 331,900,000 and some change Americans. Out of those people, I'm not sure if, because they were giving it to freaking infants and crap, right? 61,672, or just say 61,000.5 million, give or take a few, decided not to go in, right? Well, that's like what, 10%, 11%? The majority of those that did get one, 2, 3, or more, sadly, will may not be around sooner than they should. And this is already happening. We've seen it happen. It's really kind of sad. But here's what happened over time is March is when they kind of rolled this out. March, April. And then everybody's like, yeah, let's do this, man. And everybody just started freaking taking it, right? So about 80% of the country was just going at it. And then they sent out another one that they wanted everybody to take like immediately after, all the way till November. And they're just like, I don't know about that. So the amount of people dropped by like 20%. And then they said, you know what? We need you to take another one of these things. And then that dropped. This is from U.S. Facts. This is, this is coming from pretty much, I believe it's, anyway, it's on Google. So if it's up on Google and it's still there, it's there. Because Google is all, it's already been vetted, let's say. And then they wanted to get the third one in November. And everybody's just a few people kind of just, about 30% of those people that already took two were like, we're going to do it because, we voted for Biden and we're, once you've taken the first two people is Jimmy Dore. Because Jimmy Dore took one and then he took another. And imagine how many people followed Jimmy through that same door on the first round. And then did it again on the second round. And then he started getting a little ill and blah, 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 blah. And then he started to open his eyes. And then his clarity and courage came back after about a year. And I had tried my hardest to warn him in early 2020, don't touch this stuff. I spent over $100 in super chats. But Stephanie Zamorano, I guess she wasn't able to read him or couldn't say anything about him. But he still went and did it. She couldn't read my... people were trying to warn. I was for sure. They still fucking went and did it. Man. Anyway. So that kind of dissipated over time. Right? That just kind of dissipated over time. And let me see here. There's this... I think I'm in the wrong account. That's why. Let me jump back to here real quick. I want to jump back to here because I wanted to show you I mean, even South Park was in on this.
Overnight success.
Right? Even South Park was all in with this. Sad.
Nope. I don't see you anywhere on the list.
South Park's hottest club is Walgreens. The Comedy Central series mocked vaccine line cutters as well as QAnon in its outrageous hour-long vaccination special on Wednesday.
Is anybody here actually on the list? Oh, yes, it's Tom. It's Fireman Tom.
This marked an early return for the show, created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
These guys
before
were
its usual
compromised.
Fall run. The episode opened with a disclaimer that stated there would be negative depictions and mistreatment of people and cultures. A note mocking disclaimers that have been added to classic films and TV shows on streaming services such as Disney Plus and HBO Max. The special went on to tackle an array of headlines from the past several months, including the rush of those anxious to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
He's offering us $2,000 for a vaccination.
The episode also mocked the far-right QAnon conspiracy theory, turning members into tutors for South Park elementary students, thereby making the children little cuties.
I just wanted to believe in something that would get me out of the house.
Plus, Mr. Garrison's journey to return to his old self after 4 years of playing a Donald Trump-esque character was among the primary storylines.
Would you look at that? He ruined our entire country, and now he's just back like nothing happened.
This was the second hour-long special that the long-running series has produced remotely during the pandemic. Following the first special last fall, the team behind the show released this featurette of how they made it happen.
Everyone at home, no one ever in the same room, the whole crew, the whole time.
Here are the kits we've put together for all the artists.
The show, like most productions, was forced to go on hiatus due to the pandemic. It's unclear if South Park is returning for its normal 10-episode run this fall. For more on this story, go to thr.com. For The Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Tiffany Taylor.
Yeah, there was a bunch of crap. And then let's look at this one right here before I continue, because this is good. All right.
There are pockets, and significant pockets, of the country where vaccines aren't happening because of those, the anti-vaxxers or whatever you want to call them, who have made significant headway in trying to convince parents they shouldn't vaccinate children. I was just looking at new data today from Orange County, California, with more than a few schools showing between 40 and 60% children not vaccinated.
You could say this is we're a victim of success. In the countries where you have measles all the time, nobody gets confused about this.
Do you get mad about it?
I get more mad about the deaths we're not avoiding. I spend
my
time in countries where you still
the
have,
deaths
in the case of measles,
avoiding?
over 300,000 kids dying a year. In the case of diarrheal diseases, over 1 million a year. There's 6 million kids a year still dying. Why aren't we getting vaccines out in Africa for diarrhea?
Because they kicked you out of there.
Respiratory disease. Why don't we have
Because they kicked you out of there, you piece of shit.
Those are the things that I push forward. I wouldn't say I get angry, but I'm really impatient that we're not moving as fast as I'd like.
You can catch the full interview this weekend on One-on-One. On Saturday, it's on CBC News Network at 6:30 Eastern. Or on Sunday, tune in to CBC Television at 12:30 local time. That's 1 o'clock in Newfoundland.
Okay, let's go! Some say lay, some say la. Guess who's back? It's Uncle Bob. And me, Rosie!
These are all the commercials from across the world on taking it.
Hey, boys.
Yeah. And we see you making plans for 21, 22, and the rest of ever.
But guess what? We got plans too, because we're over fighting and we're ready to win. Watch out.
Because you know what this is? It's the metaphorical door to freedom.
My name is Elton John.
Cut there. Little less showbiz, Elton.
My name is Elton John. My name is Elton.
Cut there.
Eradicating the national COVID pandemic.
F reminds us to cover our faces.
A means avoiding all crowded places.
C is for cleaning, again and again.
T is the 2 meter distance we need to maintain.
2 meters. 6 feet safe. Just fucking jeez. I just can't. This whole thing. Oh my god! If I keep watching, my
S is self-isolate. If we think that we've caught
yes, isolate.
Paddle shop.
Isolate. Self-isolate. Lock yourself in your basement. Lock up your elders. I want people to make this realization. What if you, and this is really going to hit you hard, because I know there are people in a particular family. There's always the major influencers in a family dynamic. Like, let's just say you go to every year we went to my sister's. She's just, always has the big Christmas thing going. Her tree is fucking awesome. It's got all kinds of cool stuff on there. Tons of, anyway. But usually, like, the three wise men, in a sense, of the group, which, not all of them are going to be correct, because I've been wrong. It's usually me, my mom, and my sister. But in this particular case, my sister was pushing this severely. She was telling everybody to take it. She was telling everybody to get it. She was telling everybody. I said, stop it. It's not, no. Sadly, she's like one of the most influential people in our family. And everybody was just listening to her. Now, there's other families within our family. Like, let's just say my kid's mom. Right? She was, I think, into this too, and I'm not sure if anyway, her mom, I think, took it, and I'm not sure if that caused any problems. I'm not sure, because I think she left us in, I think, 2021. All I'm saying is, if you were out there caught up in all this hype, all this fear, all this propaganda that was, you heard me in the beginning. It's legal in 2016, Obama signed that fucking paper that said news outlets and basically media all over the world, or all over the country of the United States, can propagate. They can lie. They can, in a sense, cheat and steal. To get you, to manipulate you, to control you, to use your emotions against you. And I've known this for a while. And when I started my blog talk radio show back in 2014, I was pretty privy to what was fucking going on, and how Citizens United was the most horrific thing that ever happened, which I made note of on my Facebook a long time ago, back in 2010. Said this is going to be the worst thing that'll happen to our country is Citizens United and McCutcheon versus FEC. Well, with the Pedo Predator Class, right, which is about 200 people, which I've already kind of indicated. But I don't mind repeating myself, because not everybody's going to see this for the 20th time, or see my show. They may be here for the first time. Or my show, my content, whatever the fuck you vlog, whatever you call this thing. And I have been warning. I said these people are able to send in money from anywhere, and just all these different outlets, of being able to send money into your legislators, your judiciaries, and executives, even your department heads, to get them elected. Which can taint the system, the entire political system. I've always said keep money out of politics. Let them be able to have, give them the debates, the primary debates. There should be 3, and then there should be 3 big debates between, for POTUS. And there should be a huge push for a third and fourth party in the United States, but they don't want to do that. That's not going to happen. I keep hearing about Hormel West, and that guy's not going to fucking go anywhere with the same party that supported the mask mandates, the lockdowns, and the mandate of the Kool-Aid, right? And I was just like, I'm glad I left that party, the Green Party. I'm fucking glad I left it because they're all over climate change. They're pushing all that crap. Anyway, I'm not going to get too far with that. But as we've moved on and as we've kind of dissected everything, and it really is, it's a lot of dissection. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of investigating. It's a lot of paying attention to the details that are out there. And then you realize you've been played. You've been fooled. You've been manipulated. Go look at Building 7, Tequila Mockingbird, the JFK we know, what happened there. I mean, the guy was murdered, obviously assassinated, but it was because he wanted to dump the CIA, which is, CNN. And Google, which you guys should know that already. But and this is all traceable. This is all, just find out who these people are, what they're associated with. Just look at their IDs, and they'll show you, hey, here's my badge, and I work here too. It's so in your face, but you gotta check. You have to look. You have to do your due diligence. Here comes chickadee. You gotta chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I'm not perfect at that. But when it comes to this stuff, when it comes to this and how dangerous it is and stuff like that, we've got to check. So the biggest reason why I'm showing you all this stuff, and I think this is the most important piece of what I'm showing you today, is because, first of all, when you got into the hype and you went out and did the thing, you had a lot of celebrities, a lot of legislators, judiciaries, executives, politicians, people in high places of influence and exposure, coming out with these PR campaigns. I just showed you some of it and some of the people that were doing it. I want to know if they actually did it. I want to know if it's actually in their system. I want to know if did they get a saline solution? Or did they get a placebo? Did they get an actually Mary, Roger, Nancy, Alpha Kool-Aid puncture? Did they actually get that? Don't you want to know? I mean, the significance of that is so huge. And it's really kind of weird because I was having this conversation because I put this out there. Let me see here. Somebody commented when I think it was Anomaly, something about Trudeau. And I asked, I go, let me just show you this real quick here. This comment. Because I've been putting this out forever, and I've been trying to find out if there is a way to do this. But the big question is, and it's really odd to me that nobody understands the significance of this question. And the question clearly is, and if you can read it right there, just very simple, is there no one that has the clarity, courage, or the ability to create or design a saliva or blood test that can unequivocally, and I was going to say unbiasedly, detect or indicate if somebody has the Mary, Roger, Nancy, Alpha Kool-Aid in their blood or system? I've been asking this for over 3 years. Right? This guy answered. I can't hear what this guy answered. He goes, why? I go, you're vaccinated. I had to keep my job. And then he said, right. And then he said, I am also on an O negative blood donor who may just save your life in an emergency. And then I put in here, your blood may be contaminated, bro. I don't want his blood in mine. They don't get it. But my point is being, right? What if we have this test, right? Let me go to here and show you kind of what I'm really talking about. Because we don't know who took it or who didn't. You don't really know. You're going by video. You don't know what's in the solution. You don't know what's in the syringe, pill, or however they did it, or whatever. Right? You don't really know. Nobody really knows this. Right? The question no one is asking. Is there a medical procedure or test that a person could take that would indicate or detect if they have any type of the Kool-Aid, Mary Roger, Nancy Alpha stuff in their body or blood system? Why is that so significant? That is, dude. I've got to answer. I'm going to answer this in real time so you guys can see, just so you know. Just so you know, right? I'm going to answer this in real time for this guy. What if we found out that... I want you to see this so you can see it. Okay. Oh, shit. Where'd it go? Nope. Oh, God damn it. Here in this... Oh, wait, let me go. Here we go. No, we're here. We should be visible right now. I don't know why this is fucking doing this. Black. Nope. The meeting. Got that. Display capture 2. There it is right here. Yeah, so. I'm going... damn it. Every time I zip out of it. Here it is, right here, right? Is that the one? Yeah, this is the one. So, in real time, I'm going to, and hopefully you can see this. Yeah, you should be able to see this. I'm going to answer this for this person, right? Because he's asking why. No, not there, stupid. Hang on. A D-dimmer test? I don't know if that's a joke. I'll have to look that up. I don't know. Whatever. What if we found out that all those celebrities and politicians that pushed or marketed the via mandate or coercion, right? Let's just did not at all in any way take it themselves. How would you feel? I know how you feel. Basically, they all lied. And now you're contaminated, but they are not. That's it. What if we all found out all those are the celebrities and politicians that pushed and marketed the Mary Roger Nansa Alpha Kool-Aid upon you via mandate or coercion did not at all in any way take it themselves. Basically, they all lied. And now you're just hypothetically, right? Hypothetically. And now you're condemned, but they are not. Right? Yeah, I was looking. I put up some pictures earlier, but they're not showing up in my Facebook, by the way, because I don't know why. But I think that's the case. What if they all bullshitted you? What if, especially like this guy right here, totally bullshitted you? What if he did? For sure. Yeah. What if this outfit was full of shit too? Right? What if these guys, I gotta order top, right? What if they were full baloney? What if we find out none of them took it? Would you be okay with that? Right? What if you find out this guy? What about this guy right here? What if we find out he doesn't have it in his system? Right? How would that make you feel? Right? How would that make you feel if you found out, right? If you found out that pretty much everybody that told you to go get it, go do it, right? They didn't do it themselves. Right? How about these people right here? Well, I should put that in there. What if you found out? If you have this test, you know it's unequivocally able to determine that exact result. All you do is saliva, blood, whatever, and it comes out positive that you have it, right? That you then, then I guess, then you're, whatever you want to think about it. But what if these people that were pushing it, the Tom Hankses and the Oprahs and the Rocks, right? The Ben Afflecks, right? The fucking, all these other celebrities out there, LeBron James, Serena Williams. What if you find out they refuse to take it? So if they refuse to take something that can clearly indicate that, what does that really indicate? No, I don't want to do it. I don't think I need to do that. Right? If they refuse this test, right, him or anybody, if they refuse it, right, if anybody here refuses, inside the halls of chambers of Congress, or all these companies and all these CEOs that made everybody else take it, right? And it could be anything, fucking YouTube. It could be anything, right? You find out all these people, right? Most of these people said they took it. A very few said they didn't, right? But most of these people said they did. Most of these people in here said, "Oh, we tell you, yeah, we tell you, we tell you." What if you find out they refuse to take a test that can definitely prove that or not? Right? Or they take it because they think they did, but they really didn't. And they were told they did. When they go, wait a second. And then you find out, as they research it even further, that maybe they did give saline solution or B12 or some other type of thing, but not the actual, bioweapon. Genocidal bioweapon. Maybe they didn't give that to it. Because I know that Bill O'Reilly and Donald Trump did a little skit together. I don't know if you guys remember that. I can probably find it. I played it on my last show. Just look it up. Where they were saying, oh, I took it. Did you take it? I took it. Did you take it? I took it. Yeah, I took it. Did you take it? What if you find out they didn't take it? How would you feel about that? How would you feel? How would you feel if the people that were these high celebrities, high political, high cable news, network people that were just like, you didn't even take it? How would that make you feel? Like you'd feel like shit. You would feel like you just... But most people don't want to know that answer. They don't understand the power of that knowledge right there. Dr. Shiva won't answer me. Doctors won't answer me. A lot of people won't say. Nobody I've asked for 3 fucking years. There's the most powerful person on the planet, or excuse me, the most threatening person on the planet, in my opinion, would be the person that has that test and walks up to people, or a celebrity, or a politician, or a CEO, or somebody says, hey, you want to take this because you've been saying that you took it. This will determine if you did or not. If the person runs away, then you know they're full of shit. If they're saying, oh, I'll take it right now, and they took it and they're screwed, they're screwed. But this is a clear determination on who's actually got your fucking back. There's no other determining factor. If you really want to know who's got your back, if you really want to know who cares about you, if you really want to know who gives a shit about you on this planet, make this test. If you know how to make this test, make it. Unbiasedly, unequivocally, provable data, information that can be easily relayed or conveyed to people. Are you pregnant or not? It's amazing, right? But the thing that I was trying, let me just get to this here real quick because this would really destroy these people. It would really destroy these people. This would bring them all down. This would bring them all down. And they know it. If you don't advocate, if you're not advocating for where is it? That's not it. Just a second. Okay, it's this one right here. Nope, it's not that one right there. Where is it? What did I do with it? Oh, did I make it smaller? If you are not advocating for for what I am asking right now, or the question, and I don't know where the hell it disappeared to. Right? So the OET, he calls. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't even read that. I didn't know. It's Labor Day. I'm so stupid. Hang on. What I'm going to do, honestly, is I'm going to finish this because this is a segment, and I'm going to take a little break, and I'm going to come back on. We're going to have open forum. We'll do that for sure. All right? Cheryl, sorry. But I think this is a huge... Is this it right here? Is this it? Oh, my God. I just had it. You know the question. Where is it? Did I put that somewhere where I can't find it? God, my little collage sucks. But you guys understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't have a tech guy. Sorry. Okay, that one is gone. I just need to keep grabbing that. I just need to put it back where I put it so I can see it. All right, get this one here. That's the other one. Yeah, these people would be erased. What if all those people, Turos, the guy that works there, the new person that works there, what if we find out they never even had it? What would that do to them? Right? Can you imagine the person who makes that and creates that test? I'm telling you right freaking now is going to be the most threatening person on the freaking planet. Is going to cause a lot of problems for the Pedo Predator Class, aka World Economic Forum. That's a fucking for sure. That is a faux show. For sure, for sure, for sure. Alright. Did I just make it smaller? I gotta find this. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, that's going to be good. We'll talk about that later. Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh, yeah, the guy's such a fucking criminal. It's crazy. It's crazy how bad. Order. Flip vertical. No. It's in here somewhere. Tab, 10,000, enemy, yeah. Chat. Is that it? Nope. Is that it? Right there? No, that's it. What did I do with that thing? Anyway. That's... I am so tripping out right now. I just don't know where the frick that thing went. You can move it to the side here. I'm going to edit this anyway, so. But I'm going to send it out. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh wait, is that? I'm obsessed with finding this because I need it on here. Where did they fucking put this goddamn thing? Not over here. God, why? Okay, that just pissed me off. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I'm going to edit this for sure. That's the question. Nobody's asking. That would determine that would show who's in, who's not in. That would show who to trust and who not to trust. Right? The people that had it. I mean, I'm not talking about John Average Man on the street. I'm talking about celebrities, people of influence, power, CEOs. If you're part of the 99.9%, this doesn't really matter to you. Unless you were fucking telling everybody else to get it. Then, well, that doesn't fucking matter either. Because you're just being propagized. You were just being fooled, played, tricked, as everybody else was. But the tricksters, the people, the actors, the people in this mafia that's been created in the past few decades, right? The World Economic Forum, ETAL, the Pedo Predator Class, World Health Organization, I mean, all these fuckers. Council on Foreign Relations, Chatham House, there's a bunch of NGOs out there. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Foundation, all these fucking foundations, this bullshit. They pay for these. That's why the commercials, that's why you had dancing people everywhere. Right? And anyway, I'm going to take a break. I'm turning this one off. I'm going to come back in about, because I'm up. I'll be back in about a half hour, and we're going to start another one. But it's going to be open forum, and hopefully the gang will be there. Tucker is going to interview the guy that had sex with Obama. He did okay with Obama and smoke crack. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. But the most important thing is people need to be asking people about this. This is amazing how people don't know the importance of knowing this answer. Because you'll know who actually has your back. Not the 99%. I'm talking about the celebrities out there. Were they bullshitting you? Probably. Probably not. We don't know. But don't you want to know? Don't you want to know who was actually, it's just, that's the most powerful question out there right now. And nobody's asking that fucking question. It's just amazing to me. Why would you need to know that? Because then you know who the fucking actors are. The crisis actors are. That's how you fucking know. And then you'll go, well, I listened to that guy, man. I trusted that actor. I trusted that celebrity. I trusted that legislator. I trusted that governor. I trusted that basketball player, football player, tennis player. I trusted that person. And they're full of shit. We find out they lied. Most of them will say, I didn't know. They know. Because you'll know if you have it or not. You'll be knowing sooner than you think. Right? Here's a little good news. A little word went out that not all of the vials had it in them. They didn't want too many people going away too soon. It would cause too much of a stir. So they decided to just kind of roll it out slowly and methodically. Kind of like they've been killing us for the past few decades, but this is more of a warp speed system. Right? That's why they want you to keep getting more and more and more. Because it becomes more lethal. The more you get, the higher the dosage of the Mary Roger Nancy Alpha in it, which is the true genocidal bioweapon. If you don't have that in your system, that's what we need to detect. If you don't have that in your system, you're probably fine. Unless you took a bunch, you know what? Just stop fucking taking all this shit. I mean, God, just eat better, drink better. Tell your legislator, judiciary, executive, or department head to make sure you've got the purest and cleanest water out there, right? And that your employer will help pay for your fucking gym memberships, or for you to have extracurricular activities, to go play softball, co-ed, or do fun things and stay active. I mean, I hit the bag every once in a while. I go play basketball, throw around football with my grandson. Just getting out, moving around, it's good. Don't isolate yourself. That's for damn sure. Don't. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll be back. Aloha. Thank you for watching. Make the test. You don't. Please understand how powerful this. Most powerful thing. It'll be the most powerful thing created on this planet in the past few years. Aloha. Mahalo.